brother or sister? In Beezus and Ramona, a girl named Beezus tries very hard to love her younger sister Ramona, but she's just a pest. They went to the library together. Ramona wanted her own card, but she didn't know how to write her name, so Beezus had to check out her book for her. But Ramona chose her own book. It was about steam shovels, and she loved it. She wanted to keep it. They went home, and she wrote all over it. She just wrote her name in scribbles all over the book. And Beezus was furious. She thought the library would never trust her again to check out another book. So they went to the library together and explained the situation to the librarian. The librarian made Beezus pay for the book and then handed the book back to Ramona. Is that fair? To find out about other adventures of this pesky Ramona, read Beezus and Ramona by Beverly Cleary. This is a story about a fox and his family. They lived near 3 really mean farmers who liked to keep all their food to themselves. There was Father Bogus, who farmed chickens, Father Bunce, who farmed ducks and geese, and Farmer Bean, who farmed apples for cider. Normally, Mr. Fox would leave his foxhole and steal whatever food his wife wanted to prepare for that night. But on this day, the farmers decided to fight back. As soon as Mr. Fox left his foxhole, the farmer shot his tail off. Mr. Fox scurried back underground and told his family to dig as fast as they can. Meanwhile, the farmers were digging after them. They were having an underground chase. Then Mr. Fox had the genius idea of digging to each farm and stealing the food without ever having the farmers know what he was up to. Does Mr. Fox succeed in feeding his family before they die? Who does the Fox family meet on their adventures? Read Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl to find out. Fred and Lester are being bullied by the mean Dirk and his sidekick Snort. Dirk is the school principal's son, so he can get anyone into trouble. One day, Fred brings his pet salamander to school, and Dirk tries to take it for his own. This makes Fred upset, so he plans to attack Dirk. When they are in the cafeteria, he tells Dirk that Super Chicken Nugget Boy will get him. Nobody knows who Super Chicken Nugget Boy is, but this is one superhero that Lester makes real. So Fern, Lester, and the rest of the class plan to attack Dirk and Snort. The whole class dresses up like ninjas and jumps out of bushes. When Dirk runs away to tell his father what's happening, Fern comes up dressed like Super Chicken Nugget Boy. He chases Dirk and Snort behind the alley behind the fast food restaurant where the neighborhood pool type thingy, above the ground pool type thingy filled with green sludge is. As Fern, dressed as Super Chicken Nugget Boy, balances on the edge of the above ground pool, he falls into the green sludge. Gross! What happens next? Does this green slime turn Chicken Nugget Boy real? I don't know. Or is it just gross? Find out in Super Chicken Nugget Boy and the Fantastic Furious Fry by Josh Lewis. Fern was really upset when she found out that the cutest and smallest baby pig of the litter was about to get killed by her father. It wasn't the pig's fault that he was born so tiny. She begged and pleaded with her father to let her keep him as a pet and have him live in her own bedroom. And guess what? Her father agreed. She named the pig Wilbur, and they did everything together. Then Wilbur got bigger, and her father said he had to live outside and be like a normal pig. Though Fern was upset, she was a little bit relieved to learn that he was moving just up the road to her uncle's farm. She would visit every day. While she did visit regularly at first, Fern started coming over less and less, and Wilbur started hearing the farmers talk about killing him for bacon. It was then that Wilbur met Charlotte, a genius spider who was determined to save Wilbur's life. How does a tiny spider save Wilbur's life? Find out in Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Have you ever felt that someone was the meanest person in the whole wide world? This is a story about George, who hated his grandma so much he just had to fix her. George sat himself down at the table in the kitchen. He was shaking a little. Oh, how he hated Grandma! He really hated that horrid old witchy woman. And all of a sudden he had a tremendous urge to do something about it. Something whopping, something absolutely terrific. A real shocker, a sort of explosion. He may have been only 8 years old, but he was a brave little boy. He was ready to take this old woman on. Very well then, what should it be, this whopping, terrific, exploding shocker for Grandma? As George sat there pondering this interesting problem, his eye fell upon the bottle of Grandma's brown medicine standing on the sideboard. Rotten stuff it seemed to be, but it didn't do her the slightest bit of good. She was always just as horrid after she'd taken it as she had been before. So, thought George suddenly, I shall make her a new medicine, one that is so strong and so fierce and so fantastic it will either cure her completely or blow off the top of her head. Here we go then, cried George, jumping from his table. A magical medicine it shall be. What does this magical medicine do to Grandma? How will George's life change after this? Find out in George's Magical Medicine by Roald Dahl to find out.